Yeah, I'm looking at the camera. This is going to be a great episode, I can tell already.
That was the best possible timing.
Yeah, no. Hello, people. People of the internet.
People of the interwebs. Welcome, listeners, to our first official episode of the Shitcast with Ben and Mel. We have technically an agenda. We may not follow it. We'll see what happens, because that's what we do.
We're trying the whole looking at the camera thing, but the thing is, Mel's literally moving like in just an inch to the right of the lens. Stop moving, Mel. It's very distracting.
Okay.
Listeners may not know this, but Mel is actually at my house right now. She's sitting at the dining table. So if you hear like a slight echo, it's gonna be from me because I'm way louder than her. I wanted to talk about something that happened since you got here.
Yeah, go.
It's when we went to Okami, and so we went to Woolworths after Okami, and we were heading back to the car, and then you just randomly saw some dude that you know, and I was like, okay, there's a couple of facets to this. I was like, fucking hell, like, can we not go anywhere without someone I'm with seeing someone they know?
No, I'm not normally that person though. I'm normally the one that's you that stands to the side going, who the fuck? How do you know someone in this random place? It's not normally me that knows someone.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very sorry, Link, if you ever happen to listen to this episode, that I could not for the fucking life of me remember your goddamn name, which is why I didn't introduce you to Ben. And I feel so rude. I just couldn't.
Yeah, so yeah, that's the thing that I wanted to talk about. The etiquette of basically when you're in that situation, how do you, like, what are you supposed to do? Like, I'm this other person, Mel and apparently Link, we're talking, and I'm like, do I walk away or do I just introduce myself?
I should have introduced you so then you could have like whole 3-way conversation. But I was so frozen in the moment of indecisive shame that because I could not remember his name, and I am ashamed now, even a couple of days later. But
yeah,
no, I don't think you should walk away. I think, you get introduced and then you, blah, blah, how do you know each other or whatever? Like, you have a conversation, but that was my fault. That I will self-flagellate for that later.
So I back in the day, like probably about 20 years ago, I had this Irish mate who from Ireland, just if it wasn't clear. But
I mean, he could have been from France, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess. But he, whenever we went out anywhere, we would constantly see people, not only that he knows, who are from his hometown that like he went to school with, and I would just be like, is there anyone left in Ireland? Or are they all fucking here?
Isn't that like a in America it's a big, like, I say meme, but it's more like a stereotype that Irish people know each other. Like, there was a comedian who did a thing, he was doing crowd work. Can't remember the comedian's name, but he was doing crowd work, and the person in the crowd that he was talking, oh yeah, I'm from Ireland, and they actually were cousins, like distant cousins or something, and it just made that whole stereotype like even more, like, what are the chances?
Yeah,
they like had really some weird auntie or something that was like in the family connected somehow.
I'm trying. So you mentioned something about Piggly Wiggly. Oh, there's a note here, Piggly Wiggly ecosystem, and I've completely...
Because you were talking about Pixel, and I thought at dinner the other night you were saying to Shan or something about the Pixel... I don't know, the Pixel ecosystem. You said something ecosystem, and I thought you said Piggly Wiggly.
Oh, yeah, I said the Pixel ecosystem. That's right, yes. That's right. And you're like, Piggly Wiggly what? And I was like... Piggly, what are you talking about?
I said Piggly Wiggly, what are you talking about? And we just went back and forth. I was like, you literally just said Piggly Wiggly. And
that's
you went,
right.
No,
that's right. You said, did you just say Piggly Wiggly? And I said, yes, because I just wanted to fuck with you. And you were like, but why? Why did you say it?
What's the context?
And then I had to explain, no, I actually said pixel ecosystem. Because of my watch, my Pixel watch and shit, and my phone. But then we got into a conversation of like, wait, Piggly Wiggly's a thing, isn't it? Because I think it's a fast food chain or something like that.
Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah, in America.
It's called Piggly Wiggly.
I got to Google this. Hold on.
Do they only sell pork product? Because that's what you would do. So. Right?
Piggly Wiggly. Piggly Wiggly. After we did our original episode, I was like, I really want to like get something new, because I was using this stupid. Here it is. Here actually, I was using this stupid Logitech webcam for my video, which it is actually decent. I have to decide who to give this to, because it's like a 1080p 60 frames per second webcam, which is what it's at the time they were kind of hard to find, because most webcams at 1080p wait, am I getting this wrong? Anyway, most high-res webcams won't do 60 frames per second.
All right.
Unless you want to spend a lot of money. And a lot of webcams are shit. They're not good. They've got tiny lenses. Not that the GoPro has a massive lens, but there's a lot more investment in the picture quality with GoPro. Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got wait, where was my train of thought? Oh yeah, so after we talked last time, you were telling me, oh, I've got a GoPro and I'm going to bring it. And I'm like, maybe I should get a GoPro.
Yeah, maybe you should.
So I got a GoPro.
Good work on that. And I really liked how you messaged me and were like, look at this GoPro that I could potentially buy. And then the next message, not 2 minutes later, was, I'm sitting at the front of JB. Should I do it?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I was already sitting at the front of JB.
That's true. But before anyone had a chance to respond, the next message was, by the way, I bought it anyway.
Well, yeah, because okay, so I just want to preface this by saying I'm not a bad person, okay? But I was messaging Uwe in a direct chat with him, saying, hey, can I buy this? And he was like, no, it's too expensive. No, what are we going to use it for? And I'm like, no, I'll have heaps of shit to use it for.
Of course.
And I was like, oh, we can like also use it when we go on our trip to Japan. He's just no. And then I'm like, oh, I really want to get it though. And I did that fine. Like, I did the fine. Forget it then. Just forget everything. And I was walking away from JB, and then he started saying, oh yeah, you can get it. And then I was like, this is the way we are so lame. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna get it, but you're not allowed to make me feel guilty about getting it. Which is what he does.
Oh my god, you too, I swear to God.
But
that is like such gaslighting behavior.
But the whole time in there, I'm like, I tried, maybe if I message Mel and Drew and one of them will respond and say, yeah, that's really good, maybe it'll convince him that I can get it. But then you guys were like out in the middle of no service land, and I was like, fuck, they're not responding.
We were going past the wind farms at the back of wherever the hell they are.
Yeah. Did you go past the koala? That
no, we go the other way.
By the way.
Yeah, we call it the chlamydia koala.
That's exactly what I was just thinking. Hey, internet, little known fact, koalas have a big problem with chlamydia.
Yeah, that's that's actually a fact.
Hey, I've got another animal fact for you before you go on this tangent. Oh, mine's a tangent as well. Did you know, this is so wrong. Did you know that echidnas have a 4-headed penis?
Yes. Yeah.
That's a redundancy system. If one doesn't work, it's okay. You've got 3 more.
You've got 3 more. I know. And they're so cute. I mean, not the penises, echidnas are cute.
I had, years ago when I was working for another company, there was someone from America visiting, and we were at what do you call it? A souvenir store in the city. And I just happened to mention it while we were in the store, and we were at the counter, and the girl behind the counter didn't believe me. So I showed both of them a photo with an echidna penis, and it is
You didn't look it up.
disgusting.
Oh my God.
It is not pretty.
Oh my God, why?
And we're all like,
There are some things you don't do. There are some things you don't do. Okay, again, we're going to discuss this line.
Yeah, well, even I was like, because I'd never looked it up before. I was like,
no,
because I was telling them, and they were like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." And I'm like, "You know what? Let's just look it up. I've never actually looked it up before." Yeah, regrets.
It's like, you got a nice new piece of tech, and so did I. I got a new microphone, which I'm not using now. But
I can tell you sound terrible.
Yeah.
No, I'm very excited to hear you on your new microphone. You're probably gonna have to play with the settings a little bit, because I know I've got some settings on mine that make me sound less like a 14-year-old whose balls just dropped.
Well, I plugged it in and I played with it, and I called Drew on the on like FaceTime to sort of test it out, and he's like, "No, it actually sounds pretty good the way it is." So I'll probably do a bit more testing and working out what the actual settings are and stuff that are on the app, because I don't know. But I'm excited because Drew bought it for me to sort of, pep me up into the whole podcasting thing that's new and exciting for me, because I'm really enjoying doing it.
Yeah, so, it's good. Because you've got your other podcast, right?
Yeah, the other one with Flight of Southern Witches, where I interview witchy people in the Southern Hemisphere. Because
that's cool. I haven't listened to an episode yet. I hope you're not upset about that. But
no, it's pretty niche. So like, it's a niche kind of thing, and that's cool.
Not like this, because we're more general appeal here.
Yeah, exactly. We appeal to all the fucking crazy people.
What was the brand again of the microphone that you got?
I got a Rode.
Oh, that's right.
Rode microphone, which is pretty cool, because we've got a lot of other Rode tech. Because years and years and years ago, we were thinking of starting a YouTube channel about us traveling, and just we were going to test it out. So we bought like a whole bunch of Rode stuff to go with our phones and all that kind of rubbish. And then we never did anything with the YouTube channel because it was too hard.
Actually, speaking of trips, it made me think of you talking about your Uluru trip last episode, in episode 0. And I got feedback from the editing that I did of the last episode that I transitioned from pulling the meat out of the freezer doesn't fart like anal sex. And then does it feel good going to Uluru?
It was a weird transition upon rewatch.
Yeah, I know.
We were talking.
It must have been really confusing for the audio version, because the video version, you can see there's a transition.
That's why it's worth watching both.
Yeah, you should definitely watch the video and listen to the audio.
At the same time.
So we're on Apple Podcast thingy and Spotify now, right?
And Spotify, yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right. And Spotify has that new thing. I think I said I was going to do a clip, but I didn't do a clip. Where you can add like a video clip preview of the podcast.
Yeah, right. And they actually do video podcasting now as well. Like you can just put like YouTube, you can put the whole video up there.
Oh, we might do that then. Yeah. Probably still do the audio as well, because people don't always want to watch video.
No, exactly. And if you're walking or whatever, it's easier to just listen to the podcast. So
I don't know why they would not want to look at us, because we are stunning. Well, you are anyway. Hey, you sent me a video last week, which I thought was very funny, of you parked in a car park, which I'm actually going to include in this. I know I said last week that I was going to include something, but the lizard thing, the lizard penis thing.
Yeah, I couldn't find a photo.
Yeah, I couldn't find one either. The thing is, I know exactly what you're talking about, but I just couldn't find it because I don't know what they're called.
Yeah, neither do I.
Anyway, you sent me this video, and which I'll definitely 100%. Maybe not include in this podcast if you're watching. We need to describe it for the listeners, but for the people who aren't watching the video. But it's basically, you can describe it.
Basically, one of my bugbears, one of my bugbears in life is when you go to a car park and it's completely empty, and you park far enough away from things that you think, well, no one's going to park next to me, and then someone always parks next to you. Now, the irritating thing about this particularly in my case, is I normally put the shopping in the passenger driver's side seat because of the way our carport is at our house. It's a bit of a shit fest, right? And it's easier to have the shopping in the passenger seat. So I was like, well, I'll just put all my shopping in the. As I was walking back to the car, some guy pulled into the car park next to me, preventing me from using the passenger side. But not only that, he was in a small car. He had to reverse it twice to get it in there. And there was plenty of car parks free everywhere. And I was so frustrated. It was a really hot day. It was like 36 degrees or something. So I took a video of the car park being basically empty and this guy parking right next to me. And that's what the video is me just showing the whole car park and saying some bad words at the end.
Yeah.
Look at this. Park anywhere you want. Anywhere. Look at all those free spaces. Free spaces everywhere you fucking want. Everywhere. Look, even over there. But no. This cunt. Look at this cunt.
Yeah. Ui has sort of the same thing. Even if I'm the one driving, and I'll admit, I don't always park very well. But anyway, so normally when I park, I'll like... Oh, for viewers, I'm only on my P plates. I think we might have touched on this last episode. But yeah, anyway. So I try to park so that there's no one on either side of me if I can. Guaranteed, when we come back, there will be people parked next to us no matter where I park.
It's so like, is this like a group mind thing? Like, you know, don't you, when you go to the toilet, pick the toilet that's like the furthest away from the last person who's in the toilet?
Yeah, and when if you go...
next to me.
Have you seen that website that talks about the rules of urinal use for men? It's like it's got a test on there. It's like got one guy there, and it's like, okay, click on the cubicle, the urinal that you should go to, and it's always the furthest one.
Is that not normal behavior? Like what?
You know what? Speaking of urinals, I've got two things to talk about with urinals. The first one is urinal cakes. They fucking stink.
They were in the bathroom and the women's toilet in the service station that we stopped at on the way over.
Really?
Like in the sink. Like where to wash your hands, there was urinal cakes. I was very confused. It's like, are men supposed to be peeing into this?
Or maybe it's just like if all the stalls are occupied or something, it's okay. We've got a sink still.
I don't know.
How does that work?
Yes, it stunk.
Because, okay, I might have to cut this from the video. But isn't the vagina sort of like lower down than a penis? It is, right? I don't know. Okay, I actually don't know this.
What's to do with anything?
No, because I'm like, if you wanted to go to the toilet in the sink, you would have to like get onto the sink, right? If you wanted to wee if a woman wanted to wee in the sink, you would have to like mount the sink, right? Is that right? You would be
squatting over it.
Yeah, exactly. But a man can just like flop it out.
That's right. We would be squatting over it though. So like, we still wouldn't be like, it would be very uncomfortable. Unless you had a shiwi, and then you'd probably have to stand and...
Wait a second, what's a shiwi?
Oh, it's like a plastic penis for women, basically. It's the only way to explain it easily. It's like a little cup with a funnel, and you put it against your wee-wee, and then you can... It's like a little shoot-out thing.
I like that you called it a wee-wee.
I have one. I have a shiwi because we bought it for when we go camping and stuff.
Good idea.
But I haven't used it yet. But yeah, you're supposed to just like, you stick it up against you and you pee into it basically, and it's got like a funnel at the end so you can pee standing up essentially for women.
Okay, that's actually a pretty decent idea. I mean, you'd want to clean it pretty well, but yeah.
Yeah. I think they sort of got invented from some of the, I'm not sure where, so like I've got no idea, but I think it was sort of born from the festival scene, you know, where people like women particularly take fucking forever in toilets because like God knows what they're doing in there. Pee and get out, mate.
So they can just go to the men's toilets and use that.
So they can just have troughs and stuff and you can just pee into it.
Yep, good idea. Okay, so we talked about the urinal cake side. The other half is when I was much younger, and before I moved to Thailand, I started going clubbing with some friends of mine, and there was a place... Shit, I've forgotten the name of it. It's very old. I don't even know if it's still there on Oxford Street. It's actually technically not on Oxford Street.
Right.
I think it's on Taylor Street.
In Sydney.
Yeah, sorry, in Sydney. Yes, sorry for all of our famous Sydney watchers. Yeah. Uh, and I remember I went to
All three of you.
So gay clubbing is different from straight clubbing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably judging there. It might not be, but I'll describe this.
I'm still wondering how this leads to urinal cakes, but go for it.
No, this has nothing to do with urinal cakes. Urinal cakes is its own thing, but it has something to do with urinals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, so many times when I would go to the toilet, like I'm like 19 or 20 at the time, so I'm this skinny little guy, and I would be at the urinal, and I normally didn't like going to the urinal because of what I'm about to say. So in a gay bar like that, people don't do I'm going to stand at the opposite end. They come and stand right next to you.
Do they look at you?
That is what I'm talking about. They do
not.
They totally do. I don't know if it's normal or maybe it was just me, but yeah. So guys would come and stand right next to me and look at my junk.
We need Drew here.
Really? Why?
Well, because we used to go to
that he's been to.
We used to go to heaps of gay clubs because all of our friends were gay in Sydney. Okay. So like we went gay clubbing all the fucking time, but then we also did a bit of
maybe we can just go get it. I'll add a note in. I'll check with Drew to see if
see if he had that problem.
But yeah, and I remember one.
Anything or like
no, but I've said something one time. I've said, "You getting a good look there?" And the guy thought that was me being positive about the fact that he was looking at my penis.
Oh my god! But I've had that experience 3 weeks ago. Yeah, I've had that experience with Okami before.
Okay.
Because with the one in Craigieburn, we used to go there quite a lot because it was across the road. We took some of our friends there one day saying, "Oh, it's really good. You know, the service is always really good. The food's really good." And everything that came out that day was cold. Or just lukewarm, like
that sucks.
Everything. And it was disgusting. And I was like, this is not the normal experience that we've had here. So, yeah.
Speaking of taking people to food places that that you genuinely like, oh yeah, I think they're really going to like this. I like it. And I hope I've done that back when we were in Thailand. I had actually my ex visit. And Uwe and I were like, oh yeah, let's take him to the soft shell soft shell crab place. It has nothing to do with chicken, just FYI. I don't know why I said chicken.
It's crab.
There is no chicken in this meal at all. Anyway, we go like, oh, let's take him to the soft shell crab place, because where we lived, it was like right in the center of Bangkok. We could go any direction, like take a few, like just directly across the road from where we lived was this big shopping complex, and in it we'd found this soft shell crab place, and we did that thing eventually. Okay, let me finish this story first. So we took him, and we were like, "Oh, yum! You're just gonna love this. It's the best soft shell crab ever," and it just wasn't. It really was not. It just, and we were embarrassed, and also like, I don't know if we're coming back either because it was so bad.
You feel stupid though as well. You're like, oh yeah, this is the best I've ever had, and then it's like, how bad have you had in the past?
It's like, wow, you have really low standards.
This is exactly low standards.
But that soft shell crab is an example of another place where we found a place we like, and then we just go there way too much, and eventually we have to stop going completely.
Get sick of it.
But we played Fabled Fruit while you were here.
Yeah, I think I may have cheated in the end.
You kept saying this, but
I'm not sure I won, to be honest.
No, I'm.
You guys assured me that I did, but I think I fucked it up.
No, I'm pretty sure that you won. I'm not happy about it, but
I win so few games though. Like, come on.
Really? No, that's not true. No, you're a liar. You're such a liar. You remember when we played? Okay, admittedly, this is such a long story, but for the viewers, you'll remember this. You remember when we played Machi Koro Legacy?
Oh my God.
And you just kept winning.
What?
I don't know how you were doing it, but you just kept winning constantly. And there was one game where you was like, "Oh, I think I'm going to win this one," and then you completely fucked him over. And it was like, "Oh, I guess I'm not winning then," and you won again. But
Listen,
yep.
I'm pretty sure if you pulled out the Machikoro Legacy booklet thing, it's not me that's at the top of that winning.
Okay. I happen to have it just over here. I'm just going to get it. You just give me a second. Okay, viewers, I have the Machikoro Legacy box right here.
We cannot complete now.
Yeah, because I fucked it up.
So you talk about that then, maybe, and explain why we could no longer finish the Machikoro Legacy that we were leaving.
When we came back to this, quite a time after, I must say, I might have mixed the cards up and put stuff back into the deck that I shouldn't have. And then realized, oh no, what have I done?
This is a legacy version,
yes,
and not a normal one.
Yeah. I think it was on the back of the manual. Actually, hold on.
For those who don't play board games particularly much, a legacy version breaks my heart because it allows you or suggests that you rip things and write on things and throw things out. And I cannot abide by the thought of paying $100 and something for a game which you then rip apart and throw out.
Yeah. Speaking of which, there's a box in here we never opened. Should I open it?
No, because we might get them to resort it. Yeah, we have got to finish it.
Box number 6 was never opened.
No, but Sean and Michael are going to take it, remember, and they're going to go sort it through it.
Are they there?
Yeah, they said they were.
All right, so you might be right here. I don't know if the camera can pick this up, but Michael, Ben, Mel, Ben, Mel. So you and Michael won the most there. And I like that you called your city Dragonvillia.
Did Drew not win a game?
No, that's the thing. There was one where he was like, "Oh, I think I'm really close," but then you fucked him over.
I'm sorry, babe.
I can't believe you don't remember. I remember it very clearly.
I remember.
He probably still thinks about it all the time.
I thought he had actually won a game though.
No, I remember that he didn't win, and that he was like so excited that he might win a game. But then, yeah.
So we've got what, 2 games left?
Yeah, something like that. Sorry, I've already boxed it back up again.
Yeah, well, Sean and Michael said at dinner that they would take the box and attempt to sort through it at some point and work out where we're at.
Yeah, but we'd have to read the rules again. I don't even remember what the rules are anymore.
Yeah, but Michael probably remembers. He's got them like all the rules in his head.
And you know how good I am at reading rules.
Well, I mean, you and I, you play hard mode for Harry Potter and I play any rules for Davy Jones' Locker. So, like, whatever. We're not the rules people in the house.
Yeah, I've got a bad habit of just skimming rules and missing very important parts.
And I just misunderstand things. I still swear the Davy Jones Locker thing, when you guys came over and we played Davy Jones, I said to Michael, it says X, blah, 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 blah. This is what I've done. Is that correct? And he was like, yeah, seems like it. And I said, okay, I'm going to do the next bit then. He was like, yeah. And it screwed us. So
you know what?
I kind of feel like Michael should take responsibility.
I've got a confession to make. When you've been saying Davy Jones' Locker, I couldn't actually, until this very moment, I couldn't actually remember what you're referring to. But now that you just detailed it, I'm like, oh no, I remember now. That was so fucking hard. And we got to the end and you were like, oh, I think I got this wrong. It's like, oh my God.
No, I didn't. I didn't get it wrong. That's what I'm so frustrated about because I even checked it with Michael because it was putting cards in at a certain point so that when you shuffled them all in.
Yep. But we did win in the end, didn't we?
No, we lost.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think we were supposed to have more rounds to go to the islands to like collect stuff and we didn't get enough rounds of that before the board flipped and the monster came out.
That's right, yeah. Oh, that was so punishing, that game.
Yes, either I made a mistake with putting where the cards were and then putting them together, which is the only explanation because that's what sets the board flipping thing in motion.
Yep.
But I swear to God I did it as per the rules, which is I want to play it again because I want to see if the same thing happens. But yeah. So
I really like. Have you got anything on like any Kickstarter stuff that you're waiting for at the moment?
Yes.
What is it?
So there's a werewolf version that's been going for fucking ages.
Mm-hmm.
It's like some big werewolf thing. And there's another, it's a witchy thing that I'm waiting for, about Isabel Gowdy. That's been like 3 years.
Who's Isabel Gowdy?
She's a Scottish witch.
Okay.
Who was, as far as I remember, the last person ever tried for witchcraft.
Wow.
So she
that's quite something to be famous for.
Yeah, sadly, but yes. So, yeah. They're the only two things that we're still missing, but I haven't had a Kickstarter not come through. So
okay.
I've had pretty good experience with them.
I've got like I think 3 things.
How long have they been outstanding?
Hold on, I need to. Okay, hold on. I've got the next one that I'm actually going to receive, hopefully this year, maybe early next year, is Clank Legacy 2, the Acquisitions Incorporated one. So they did a second one. Ended up really liking that first one. And we actually enjoyed it as well, mainly because he'd fuck me over every time.
Of course.
It's not technically meant to be a competitive game, but the way Uwe played it, it totally is. Yeah.
Right.
So
his plan is always to kill you, so
yeah, he's just always out to get me. He thinks it's the best, as you'll see in our latest episode of Blood on the Clock Tower. He was so excited. Okay. In hindsight, this all makes sense to me now. So like, because you guys, everyone, because obviously everyone who watches this is going to watch Blood on the Clock Tower as well.
of course.
Yeah. So I obviously got killed on the first day by the town. I got executed. And then the next day I was somehow alive again, which was a shock. But anyway, I'm alive again. Okay. Then like a few nights later, I got killed. And then the next morning, Uwe wants to talk with me instantly. Never happened. And I should have known straight away, you fucker, you killed me. Didn't you? And then he said while I was talking to him, oh, I'm really sorry you're dead. It's just like, you are such a liar. And I was like, nah. When he said that, I was like, nah, bullshit. Yep. You killed. Yep. I didn't say you killed me. I'm like, you're sus. You are so sus.
He was pretty upfront about it. he wasted no bones or anything about it. I just want to kill Ben.
Yeah. And I always worry that people lack the context of watching the way that he and I interact.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, but I think there's you can definitely sense that there's a relationship between the two of you, whether it's friendship or more or whatever. But you talk too easily to each other to not be like, at least, like strangers wouldn't talk that way to each other. At least I hope not. Maybe they do. I don't know. Okay. Are you going to do an outro?
Oh, yeah. No, you do the outro.
But I did the intro. Do you want to do the outro?
Okay. I'll do the outro. Okay, thanks for watching, everyone. Until next time, and hey, don't forget that whole like, comment, subscribe bullshit. I don't like talking about it, but it really, really helps. Okay. Yep. Love you long time.
Bye.